You are now listening to UnreMarkd, episode 5. And today I kind of want to shift gears. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about purpose and changing purpose and age. And the reason I'm feeling so introspective is because today is my birthday. I'm the big 3-3. Do I feel older? Not really. Does my body feel older? No. But does my mind feel older? Absolutely. I've been really introspective and thinking about time. How much time we have left. What takes up our years. And something that's really been hitting me are things that I want to do. There are a lot of things I wanted to do with my life, and they've changed, they've evolved, and taking away age, I know I am not the same person that I used to be. I'm not 23 anymore. I'm not 27 anymore. I'm not 28, 29, 30. And, I think as we get older, our wants change, our ideas change, our perspectives change. And that's valid. That is valid. Somewhat sort of being a jerk, I would tell people that would know me in the past, I would let them know, you don't know who I am now. I am not that same person. That person that you knew back in high school, back in college, back at this job is not the same person I am today. The person that I was yesterday isn't even the same person that I am today in this moment, in this space. Speaking just from me, I'm only going to speak about me, but I know that my goals are constantly evolving depending on what I need and who I want to be that day. And that's totally valid. A lot of times I think that I crave human connection. I thrive on knowing that I can be your person, be the person that you need me to be. And so often I know that I deprive myself of who I need myself to be. I was in a very emotionally hard situation a couple months back. And my fiance came with me to this situation. And how do I want to say this? She picked up on something that I don't think anyone else picks up on. In a room full of people, I can be exactly what that room full of people needs me to be. I can intuit, I can tune my vibe, I can either accentuate or rein in me for whatever the situation calls upon. And not feel the things that I need to feel in that moment, and not let out my feelings, I guess, until I'm alone or until I'm with an individual that I trust wholeheartedly. Then I can be what I need to be for myself. And I think I've been like that my whole life. There's a study, and I implore you to look into it. I don't know the school of thought. I don't know the researchers by name, but it talks about the chameleon kid and how children of I don't want to say broken. Broken sounds bad. Broken sounds has a negative connotation. But children that go between two different households basically are chameleons. And I do feel like to an extent that is true. My mom found my podcast, so I'm going to like, this isn't like, again, broken is very negative. It's not broken. But I even think she would agree with me that it's true. Um, as a kid, going from one parent's house to another house, it was a drastic, quick shift of the child I needed to be. Let me say that again. The child that I needed to be for this parent versus this parent. For this parent, I had to be a good student, I had to be a brother. I had to be a figure in a household. And how do I want to say this? I guess I had to mature a little bit. I had to be mature in this one. Whereas in this one, I didn't have siblings. I didn't have responsibilities. I was only there for, a tiny bit of time throughout the year. So I could essentially just be a kid and not care. And those paradigm shifts happened like that. So I've realized that from a very young age, that is who I had to be. And, excuse me, as an adult, that is who I've had to be. And it's hard because I don't know any other way to be. And I think that's a big contributor to my anxiety. And before I proceed, don't mishear me. Don't get this idea of facades, because that's not it. Both as a child, both facets of me were the same person, were the same kid. It wasn't an act I was putting on. It was different qualities I had to accentuate depending on who I was with. Just like as an adult, I can be, and you can be, this person for your work. You can be this person out in public, and you can be this person with your friends, and you can be this person with your family. And let's be real. Let's be 100% real. I think that if anybody from work sees this, they can whatever. But at work, I say some wild things. This is dumb. I had a meeting where there was a lot of talk going on around me, and somebody had mentioned, like, y'all are putting a lot on Mark. And so I piped in and I was like, that's because I'm a workhorse, but calm that down because I'm a stallion. I say outlandish stuff like that at work because I'm comfortable. I'm cool. I'm good at my job. I'm good at what I do. And let's put a pin in that for a little bit. We'll put pin number 1. And with my friends, with my family, I can be a lot more sarcastic. I can be a lot more dry. I can be witty. I can be whatever, like however I want to be. And then with my friends, I can just let it all loose. I can make the jokes that I would never make around my family. I can say ridiculous stuff that I wouldn't say around my family. I just like we all can. I can listen to things that I wouldn't do around my family. And that's fine. That's cool. That doesn't change. That doesn't minimize any other side of me that there is. And I guess that's a better way of saying it, a different side of me. And so I think that sometimes it does contribute to my anxiety. Like, who are you going to get? How am I going to adapt to this situation? Sometimes it's hard for me. Other times it's not. And other times I don't care. I just kind of let it all hang loose. But let's go back to this pin that I'm going to take out job-wise. I work a lot. It is what it is. It's the life I lead. I'm not going to say where I work, but in my job, I help people who otherwise may not have a voice or know how to be helped. And I enjoy it. How do I want to say this? I'm very good at my job. I don't like to brag about it. I post about it maybe once, twice. Without sounding braggy, I am very good at my job to the point where I have spoken nationally twice about my job. Not a TED Talk situation, but like a TED Talk situation. So I'm not very good. Don't think I'm a great public speaker. I am not. But I think that a part of me in my job, I've become very good at helping people. And I think that it is time for a change. For those of you that don't know me personally, I am going to enroll in a course because I think it's time for a career change. I've never wanted my podcast to be my next career. I just wanted it to be something that I put out and have fun with because I think it's fun. But it was never going to be something that I was going to make a career out of. But I am going to keep doing it. Don't think I'm done. I'm not done. I'm nowhere close to being done. I just think that time is fleeting. I'm getting married this year, and I'm extremely happy. I said that real melancholy, didn't I? Like, I'm extremely happy. No, I'm extremely happy. The last thing I want to do is place all of my happiness put all my happiness eggs in one basket. I've done that before. Not a good look. Am I nervous? Yeah. I always get really nervous that I'm going to suck at something. And I don't think I allow myself time to get good at it. When consciously I know anything that we start new, we suck at. Something that stopped me, because I've been talking about this podcast for years, almost half a fucking decade at this point. Like, this mic was bought before my podcast mics. This one that I'm holding was purchased in the winter 2020. Those were purchased mid 2022. So, yeah, like, my biggest thing starting this podcast was I was afraid that it would come off sucky and unprofessional, and I don't know, I was just very nervous about it. I don't know who created the term, and I don't know where the research came from, but I do know where I heard it from. YouTuber Satchel Drakes used to go by Satchbag. He had a video where he talked about idea dead, and it's years old, and I heard this before 2018, but idea debt is where you have an idea and you hype it up to a point where you don't even do it. And that was where I was. Other studies call it a perfectionism block, to where you need things to be professional before you even get started. You need things to be perfect before you get started. And that was me. I was never afraid to fail. I was afraid of looking like it wasn't good. And it it sucks. The analogy that Satchel used was take the idea of a snowboard. He said the person who came up with this was snowboarding, and he saw old new snowboarders hitting the ramps or whatever you call them, the hills. I haven't snowboarded, but the he saw someone waiting. His friend, I think. His friend was waiting, envisioning the jump, until, excuse me, time passed, and he never jumped. He took so long and thought so hard about how he could make this jump look good, look impressive, that he didn't do it. I used to have a sticky note on my desk that said, "Done is better than perfect." Because even going back years ago, even going back a decade ago, when I was in college, I had a journalism class, and we had like these weekly assignments that were due at the beginning of every class. At the beginning of every class. And the instructor would say, "Don't turn these in late. Don't turn these in late. Don't turn these in late." And so what happened was I had a class right before, and in getting to that class, to my car, from my car to driving my car to the other building, and then getting into the other building, I was always 3 minutes late, 3 to 2 minutes late. So one day my professor stopped me, and she was like, "Hey, so I want to talk to you about a couple things." And I was like, "Okay, cool. What's going on?" She was like, "You're always late to this class." I was like, "I know." She was like, "Is there something stopping you?" And I'm like, "Yes, this class is stopping me from getting here on time because the class was like down the street and around the corner. Like, it was driving distance. It wasn't walking distance." And I was like, "Yeah, it is. I get out of this class at this time. I can't make it to this class on time." She's like, "Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for telling me." And then she's like, "But what about these assignments?" And I was like, "I have every single one." She was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yes, I've done every single one every week." She's like, "Well, why aren't they turned in?" And I was like, "Because they weren't perfect and I couldn't turn them in perfectly." She stopped me dead in my tracks and was like, "Just give them to me, Mark." Because I think she thought I was joking. I think she thought I was joking. But I pulled out every single week. Like, different, like, same assignment, different topic every single week. And she thought they were great. But why didn't I turn them in? Because I couldn't turn them in perfectly. I didn't feel like they were perfect. And this has been something that I've struggled with all my life now that I'm talking about it. I even in like 7th grade, if I didn't get a like on my math homework, if a question wasn't perfect, I wouldn't turn it in. I had a fear of being wrong, and I had a fear of it not being perfect. But again, I would do the assignments. I just wouldn't turn them in. They would sit in my book bag. Damn. Now that we're talking about it, even now, I have reports that I'm late on because I need them to be perfect. I don't know. Maybe I'm a perfectionist. Maybe I need to put that note back on my desk. Who knows? On some lighter notes, though. Are we fucking serious? Okay. We're going to get Velcro for this bad boy because this is annoying as I don't know what. There we go. That was annoying. But on other news. Yes, I drink like a camel. So, I'm starting a course tomorrow. I'm actually writing something. And I may need some help with it. It's dumb. It's an audio drama that I'm hoping to get done soon, at least my first episode. I'm taking the X-Men and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'm crafting a story with both of them. So I need voices. If you know anybody, this is an unpaid, fan-made thing. No one's getting paid. This is for fun. It's audio, so you doesn't matter how you look. Just have a good voice. But I will keep you guys updated on that. Again, not expecting it to be a hit, just wanting to do it. And I think that's a lot of things for me now. I think that I'm over this idea that everything I do needs to make money, because it doesn't. I'm not saying I wouldn't like to make money, but not everything I do needs to make money. Oof. So now let's go back into heavier stuff. Damn. You guys are basically listening to my own therapy sessions, honestly. Like, I'm treating this like therapy. But guys, I don't know. This is a little bit of a different podcast. I know it was probably boring. It's not really funny. I just kind of wanted to throw out my thoughts. Right now I'm on vacation. So, I don't know. That should be the title of this episode. I don't know. For what it's worth, I do. Son of a gun. For what it's worth, I want to say thank you. I'm just going to let this motherfucker down. This whole episode, I've been fighting with this stupid ass thing. I am so sorry. You know what? We're going to see. Does this fit? Ooh, that's nice. But I have a lot of thoughts going in and out of my brain right now, and it's hard to process. I think my birthday kind of makes me sad a little bit. Like, I'm another year older. All of the things that I really want to do, I haven't done yet. I'm trying to do them, though. I know I don't give myself enough slack. It's like the things I want to do, I just can't do them yet, and I'm working towards them. Like, I want a better body. I want more money. I want a new career. I want to be married. And I know those things take time. I think I've always been super impatient and never let things take the time that they take. I want them now. I want to get them done now. I need them to be here now. And that's not how life works. And I know that's not how life works. I don't know. I didn't even plan any. I don't think I really planned anything for my birthday either. Last week really beat me down a little bit. There was a lot of things happening, and so I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and I didn't plan things the way that they should be planned. As I'm getting older, I've stopped like bum rushing plans. Like, if I can't do them, I'm not going to rework my whole schedule to make things happen. I'm going to do things on my time, super chill, like I'm not going to rush to do it. I've started listening to my body and hearing that, and like feeling, this is giving you anxiety. Do you need to do this? The thought of this makes you anxious. Do you really want to do this? Are you anxious because of fear? Or are you anxious because you don't want to do something? And those are two very different things that I kind of want to break down. Fear anxiety is because you don't know what is coming. I have a lot of that with starting up classes again. I have a lot of that with, getting married. I have a lot of that with starting a whole new life. I've been on my own for the better part of a decade and a half. And so, oh, wow, even longer than that. Um, and so sharing my life with someone in this capacity is going to be completely and utterly different for me. It's it's like the best way I could give an analogy is like it's like having a kid. It's like bringing a kid into the world. Like I am no longer things are no longer just about me. Things are no longer my decision. The things I do now impact another human being, a human being that I love more than anything in this world. And that's a serious, scary thing to have happen. Like, and it's exciting. I never want anyone to think that it's not exciting, but it gives me anxiety because it's something I don't know. Like I said, every decision I've ever made since I was 16, 17, 17 is better, has impacted me. Every win, every loss, every beating I've taken has been me. Now now it's different because now it involves someone else. And that's a really scary thing, but also exciting. It's exciting because now those wins aren't just mine, they're ours. Those losses, I don't have to bear those crosses alone. It's exciting. It's one of my old coworkers said it best. It's like being with your best friend all the time. It's different, like, not to shade any of my friends who are in relationships, but, and I don't even know, like, this is just things I'm excited about. Being married is legally binding. It is a tie that our souls are. This is getting really metaphysical. um, it's it's a union of our souls intermerging to become one entity. And it's powerful. One thing that no one can ever take away from you that means the most to you is your name. Like, you hear the jokes about people's names, but at the end of the day, that is their names. Their name, that's their credit. That's their respect level. That's who they are. That is their identity. And so it's a powerful thing. A name is a very powerful thing. And this woman who I've chosen to spend the rest of my life with is giving up a part of her name, a part of her fucking identity for me. That's huge, dude. That's huge. And with that comes this want to be better. And there are times I get so frustrated. There are times I get so frustrated because it's like, damn it, I want to be better for you. I want to be the person that you think I can be. I want to be as amazing as you see me to be. And there's a fear that I'm never going to be that. And then there's a hope because I'm never going to stop striving to be that. There's a fear that I can't give you everything that you need, that you want. But there's a hope that, and almost an inspiration that I am trying to be everything that you need me to be. And it's different. Like I said, I'm not just shade to anybody in a relationship, but it's different than just being in a relationship because this is a lifelong thing. Okay, I'm going to need some more of that. The last thing I want to talk about is trauma. And one form of trauma I want to talk about is the trauma of failure. And I think if we really dig deep, that trauma from failure is also different than a fear of failure. Fear of failure, I think we all have, but trauma from failure, that's different. Have you ever gotten a job that you wanted so bad and they told you no, you're not equipped for this? That can be traumatic. That can make you never look in that direction again. And it's understandable and it is valid. Do I have the cure? No, I'm not a therapist. I don't have the cure for that. Do I understand the feelings? Absolutely. I would say don't let that stop you. But if it does stop you, that's okay. Our dreams and our goals change as we get older and we grow and we vibe and we, just become different people. Because that's the goal, right? Becoming someone different is the goal in growing up. If you're not changing who you are, you're not growing. And I don't mean changing like changing your hairstyle. Yes, I got a haircut. Growing and becoming who you want to be. I'm going to quote Avengers Endgame because it was a line that really took me from a character that I never expected to take me. We all fail at who we are supposed to be. Our true measure comes in becoming who we want to be. And that hit me. The expectations of who I'm supposed to be don't matter. And those expectations of who you're supposed to be don't matter. And I guess that's all I got to say. I will see you guys on UnreMarkd episode 6. Coming soon.